Is your mind constantly at war? A never-ending battle between anxieties, distractions, and that overwhelming to-do list? Do you ever long for peace, a way to find clarity amidst the chaos, to navigate life with purpose? What if I told you there's an ancient philosophy that holds the keys to unlocking that inner peace? A philosophy that can help you master the turmoil within and find lasting tranquility? In this episode, we're diving deep into the timeless wisdom of Stoicism, a philosophy that's been guiding people for centuries. The Stoics, with their insights from ancient Greece and Rome, faced life's challenges with unshakable resilience, reason, and a deep understanding of the human mind. Today we'll explore how you can harness this wisdom to transform your mind, to see clearly and act with purpose. Imagine a mind unclouded by unnecessary distractions, a mind that is in control. Are you ready to embark on this transformative journey of self-discovery? Let's unlock the secrets of perception, knowledge, and self-control together. If this resonates with you, don't forget to like, share, and spread this wisdom with others. Let's help everyone master their minds. Let's begin with the first key, the discipline of perception. The discipline of perception. Now, before you envision yourself in a dojo, balancing on one leg and catching flies, let's clarify something. The Stoics weren't talking about physical discipline here. What they meant was the practice of training your mind to see the world clearly, to cut through the noise and focus on what truly matters. Imagine trying to read through a foggy window. Everything is blurry, distorted, and you can barely make out the details. That's how life feels when our perception is clouded by bias, assumptions, or emotional reactions. But when you clean that window, when you clear your mind, everything comes into focus. That's the essence of the discipline of perception. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus put it best. It's not things that upset us, but our judgments about things. What does this mean? It means that it's not the events themselves that cause us suffering, but the way we interpret them. Take, for example, getting stuck in traffic on your way to an important meeting. You could rage against the situation, feeling your blood pressure rise, blaming the world for your troubles. Or you could choose to accept it, turn on some calming music, and use the time to reflect or catch up on a podcast. The traffic hasn't changed, but your perception of it can transform your experience. So, how do you cultivate this discipline? It begins with awareness. Pay attention to your thoughts and judgments throughout the day. Are they based on facts, or are they influenced by your emotions or preconceived notions? Take a situation like a friend canceling plans last minute. Your first instinct might be to feel rejected, to assume they don't value your friendship. But with disciplined perception, you might stop and consider that they could be going through something difficult, or maybe they had an unexpected emergency. In a world that often pulls us toward external desires, money, status, possessions, the Stoics taught that true happiness lies in cultivating inner virtues: wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. As Seneca wisely said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." True wealth is not in the abundance of things, but in the contentment of the soul. So, let's clear away the smudges in our minds, focus on what truly matters, and see the world through the lens of wisdom and clarity. As Marcus Aurelius advised, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. The liberating power of knowledge. Now, let's talk about something truly empowering: knowledge. But not just any knowledge, the kind that sets you free. The Stoics believed that true freedom comes from understanding the world around us and within us. Knowledge, for them, wasn't about accumulating facts for the sake of it. It was about using that understanding to live a wise and fulfilling life. Picture this. You're lost in a dense forest with no map or compass. You're wandering aimlessly, unsure of where to go. But when you have knowledge, the right tools, the right understanding, you can navigate that forest with confidence. Knowledge acts as your map, guiding you through the twists and turns of life, helping you make informed decisions, and avoiding the pitfalls of confusion and ignorance. Epictetus once said, "Only the educated are free." For him, education wasn't about memorizing facts. It was about developing wisdom, critical thinking, and the ability to discern truth from falsehood. Imagine facing a difficult decision. Without knowledge, you might react impulsively, driven by emotion or misinformation. But with the right knowledge, you can carefully weigh your options and choose the path that aligns with your values. The Stoics weren't just concerned with book knowledge. They believed that wisdom spans many areas: philosophy, ethics, logic, even the arts. As Seneca wrote, "The mind is not a vessel to be filled, but a fire to be kindled." Knowledge is not something to passively absorb. It's something to actively engage with, to question, to challenge, and to deepen. So, how can you harness this liberating power of knowledge? Start by cultivating curiosity. Be a lifelong learner, always eager to explore new ideas, challenge your beliefs, and expand your understanding. Read, listen to diverse perspectives, engage in meaningful conversations. But knowledge is only powerful when applied. Use it to make wise decisions, to navigate life with purpose, and to align your actions with your values. As Socrates famously said, "The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing." The art of the strategic no. Now, let's explore a tiny word with enormous power: no. At first glance, it seems simple, but mastering the art of saying no can completely transform your life. The Stoics understood that saying yes to everything, every request, every obligation, every distraction, can lead to a cluttered, overwhelmed existence. Saying yes to everything means saying no to what truly matters. Imagine your life as a garden. Each time you say yes to something, a social obligation, a new project, a favor for someone, you're planting a seed. Some seeds might grow into beautiful flowers that enrich your life, but others are weeds, draining your energy and attention, leaving you feeling overwhelmed and depleted. The Stoics taught us to be selective, to choose our commitments with care. Saying no isn't about being selfish or unkind. It's about protecting your time, your energy, and your mental space. Seneca once wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." We all have limited time and energy, and it's up to us to decide how to invest those precious resources. So, how do you master the strategic no? It starts with understanding your priorities. What matters most to you? What aligns with your values, your goals, your passions? Once you know what's truly important, saying no becomes easier. Maybe you're invited to an event that doesn't interest you. Instead of going out of obligation or fear of missing out, you politely decline, freeing up time for what really matters, whether it's pursuing a hobby, spending time with loved ones, or simply resting. Saying no doesn't have to be harsh or confrontational. You can decline with kindness, with grace. "Thank you for the invite, but I won't be able to make it this time." Or, "I appreciate you thinking of me, but I can't take on any new commitments right now." By mastering the art of saying no, you protect your energy and focus on what truly matters. Let's embark on this journey of mastering our minds together. With clarity, wisdom, and the strategic use of knowledge and perception, you can navigate life with strength and purpose. The key to mastering your time and energy is simple. Be honest and assertive, without feeling the need to over-explain or apologize. You have the right to protect your peace. As the philosopher Epictetus wisely advised, "If you wish to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid with regard to external things." In other words, don't let fear of judgment stop you from saying no. Focus on what's best for you, even if it means swimming against the tide. Cultivating the art of the strategic no is a powerful practice. It's about decluttering your life by saying yes to what truly matters and saying no to everything that drains you. Remember, as Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." By being mindful of your commitments and preserving your energy, you give yourself the space to truly thrive. The Stoic Trinity: perception, action, and will. Now, let's dive into a core teaching of Stoicism: the Stoic Trinity: perception, action, and will. These three interconnected disciplines form the foundation of Stoic philosophy, and when practiced together, they create a life of balance, resilience, and purpose. Think of them as the three pillars that support your inner strength, each working in harmony to guide you through life's complexities. Perception is the first pillar. It's about seeing the world with clarity, free from the fog of our biases, judgments, and fears. It's about recognizing what's within our control and focusing on those things. The Stoics believe that how we perceive the world directly shapes our experience of it. When we view life through a lens of negativity or fear, we invite more of that into our lives. But when we practice seeing the world clearly, with compassion and wisdom, we open the door to a greater sense of peace. Action is the second pillar. The Stoics weren't passive observers, they were active participants in life. Action means living in alignment with your values, pursuing your goals with intention, and contributing to the well-being of others. It's not enough to just see the truth, you must also take purposeful action that reflects that truth. Finally, will is the third pillar. The Stoics understood that life will inevitably throw challenges our way. There will be setbacks, obstacles, and unforeseen events that we cannot control. But our will, our ability to respond with strength, acceptance, and resilience, determines how we navigate these challenges. As Epictetus famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." By cultivating a strong will, we find peace even in the midst of chaos. Embracing the Stoic Trinity. Imagine this. You're an archer aiming at a target. Perception is like having a clear view of the target, free from distractions. Action is the steady drawing back of the bow and releasing the arrow with purpose. Will is about accepting where that arrow lands, whether it hits the bullseye or not. To cultivate the Stoic Trinity in your life, it begins with awareness. Pay attention to your thoughts, your actions, and your responses to life's events. Are you seeing the world clearly? Are you acting in alignment with your values? And when life doesn't go as planned, can you accept it with grace, learn from it, and keep moving forward? Marcus Aurelius, in his personal writings, Meditations, shared this wisdom. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The Stoic Trinity is a powerful set of tools for navigating life. It helps you gain clarity, take meaningful action, and find peace in the face of the unpredictable. So, my friends, embrace the Stoic Trinity. Cultivate clear perception, take intentional action, and develop a resilient will. By doing so, you'll move through life with purpose and strength. As Seneca once said, the greatest remedy for anger is delay. When we pause, reflect, and embrace the Stoic way, we discover a life of fulfillment and tranquility. The compass of intention. When we talk about intention, we're not referring to fleeting desires or vague dreams. We're talking about a deep, powerful force that acts as a true compass, guiding your every step with purpose and clarity. The Stoics believed that living with intention is the key to a life of fulfillment, making decisions that reflect your values and staying focused on the goals that matter most. Imagine setting off on a journey across a vast, unpredictable ocean with no compass to guide you. You'd be tossed about by the winds, lost and directionless, unsure of where you're heading. But if you have a compass, suddenly you have direction. You can navigate storms, chart your course, and ultimately reach your destination. This is what intention does for your life. It gives you a clear sense of direction and helps you stay true to what matters most. Seneca once said, "If one does not know to which port one is sailing, no wind is favorable." Without a clear vision of where you're headed, you'll drift aimlessly, wasting time and energy on pursuits that ultimately won't fulfill you. But with intention, everything changes. So, how do you set these powerful intentions? It begins with self-reflection, taking the time to explore your deepest values, passions, and aspirations. What do you truly want from life? What kind of person do you want to become? Once you understand what's truly important to you, you can set intentions that guide your actions and keep you focused on what really matters. These intentions can range from small goals, like cultivating gratitude every day, to larger ones, such as creating meaningful connections or contributing to a cause you care about. The key is specificity. Write down your intentions, make them tangible. You can even create a vision board with images or affirmations that represent your dreams and goals. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, emphasized living with purpose in every moment. Concentrate every minute like a Roman, like a man on doing what's in front of you with precise and genuine seriousness, as if it were the last thing you were doing in your life. By aligning your actions with your values, you'll find that your life becomes more purposeful, more focused, and more fulfilling. Remember, setting intentions isn't a one-time event. It's an ongoing process. Life will change, and so might your goals. Be flexible. Adjust your course as needed, but never lose sight of your deeper values. With the power of intention, you will unlock a life filled with meaning and direction. As Viktor Frankl so profoundly said, Man's search for meaning is the primary motivation in his life. The cosmic perspective. Now, let's take a step back and look at the big picture. I'm talking about the cosmic perspective, a way of seeing the world that stretches beyond your daily worries, giving you a sense of awe, humility, and tranquility. The Stoics believe that understanding our place in the vast universe can transform our perspective on life, allowing us to feel more grounded and at peace. Imagine standing on top of a towering mountain, gazing out at a breathtaking view of endless valleys, rivers, and forests. Suddenly, your everyday concerns, your frustrations, your fears seem small and insignificant in comparison to the grandness of nature. You feel an overwhelming sense of awe, a humbling realization of how tiny you are in the vastness of the world. That's the cosmic perspective. It's about recognizing that we are just a tiny part of an immense, interconnected universe that operates according to natural laws far beyond our control. It's humbling to think about how much is out of our hands, yet it brings a deep sense of peace. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, often reflected on this. He reminded himself that time is fleeting and that our focus should be on living virtuously, in harmony with nature. He said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." Now, you might be wondering, how does contemplating the vast universe help with the challenges I face in my everyday life? The cosmic perspective gives us detachment. When you realize that many of your worries are tiny in the grand scheme of things, it becomes easier to let go of anxieties that don't serve you. You gain the ability to let go and find peace, knowing that the universe is far greater than any one moment of discomfort. When you take a step back and remind yourself of the vastness of the world and your place in it, it's easier to put things into perspective. It's like a mental reset, a way to calm your mind and release the stress that weighs you down. Life is fleeting, but we can choose to live it with purpose, acceptance, and serenity. Through the cosmic perspective, we learn to accept what we cannot control and find peace in the knowledge that we are part of something far greater than ourselves. So, my friends, embrace the power of intention and the cosmic perspective. Let intention be the compass that guides your actions, and use the vastness of the universe to remind you that your worries are not the center of everything. In doing so, you'll find peace and clarity, even amidst life's chaos. The cosmic perspective. Imagine you're feeling the weight of a looming work deadline, the stress building as the clock ticks relentlessly. Now, picture this. You're able to step back and adopt the cosmic perspective. You remind yourself that, in the grand expanse of the universe, this deadline is just a tiny blip, a fleeting moment in time. Yes, it matters in the short term, but it's insignificant compared to the vastness of the cosmos. This doesn't mean you should abandon your responsibilities, but rather that you can approach the task with calmness, perspective, and balance. You recognize that the pressure you're feeling is temporary, and that it won't define your life in the long run. The cosmic perspective doesn't just help with stress, it also encourages us to understand the interconnectedness of all things. We are all made of the same stardust, bound together by forces larger than we can fully comprehend. The more we realize this, the more empathy and compassion we develop for one another and the world around us. The Stoic philosopher Seneca captured this truth when he said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." Our time is precious, and how we choose to spend it can either deepen our connections or keep us trapped in small, petty concerns. So how do you cultivate the cosmic perspective? It starts with curiosity, a willingness to embrace the wonders of the universe. Spend time in nature, look up at the stars, explore the mysteries of cosmology, and let these experiences remind you of the grand scheme of things. But it's not just about intellectual understanding, it's about feeling awe and humility, recognizing that your individual concerns are part of something much larger than yourself. By adopting this mindset, you'll understand that your actions have ripple effects beyond what you can see or even comprehend. As Carl Sagan beautifully put it, we are a way for the cosmos to know itself. When we realize how small we are in the grand scheme of the universe, we're humbled, and paradoxically, we feel more connected to everything around us. This cosmic perspective is a powerful tool for letting go of the small stuff and finding peace in the bigger picture. The mind's toolkit. Now, let's dive into the fascinating world of the mind, a realm that the Stoics understood deeply. They didn't just think of the mind as a passive receiver of information. They saw it as a powerful tool capable of immense reasoning, creativity, and resilience. But, like any tool, the mind needs to be used with awareness, discipline, and intention to function at its highest potential. The Stoics identified 7 key functions of the mind, each one playing a unique role in how we process the world around us. 1. Perception, how we see the world, free from biases and distortions. 2. Assent, the ability to judge whether a perception is true or false. 3. Impulses, the initial reaction to act or not act based on a perception. 4. Desire, the longing for something we perceive as good. 5. Aversion, the repulsion from something we perceive as harmful. 6th reason, the ability to think logically, make sound decisions, and understand the consequences of our actions. 7. Will, the power to choose our actions and direct our attention, even in the face of challenges. Think of these 7 functions as tools in a mental toolbox. Perception helps you gather information. Assent helps you evaluate it. Impulse and desire motivate you to act, while aversion helps you avoid harm. Reason guides your choices and will give you the strength to follow through. The Stoics place special emphasis on reason, seeing it as the guiding principle that should govern all the other functions. Without reason, our impulses, desires, and aversions could lead us astray. But with reason, we make wiser decisions that align with our values and lead us toward a virtuous life. For example, let's say you're faced with an impulse to eat something unhealthy, perhaps a sugary snack. Reason would help you evaluate whether this short-term pleasure is worth the long-term consequences. You might recognize that while the treat may bring momentary satisfaction, it could also harm your health and well-being. This doesn't mean you should deny yourself pleasure altogether, but that you should make a conscious choice informed by reason instead of reacting impulsively. Seneca wisely said, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." When we feel anger or frustration, taking a moment to pause, reflect, and use reason to assess the situation can help us avoid making rash decisions that we might regret. So, my friends, start cultivating awareness of your mind's toolkit. Pay attention to your thoughts, impulses, and emotions. Practice using your reason to evaluate your choices, and empower yourself to act with intention. By doing so, you'll develop a mind that is focused, clear, and resilient. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Take control of your mind, use its tools wisely, and you'll unlock a life filled with purpose, balance, and true strength. Breaking free from addiction. Let's dive into a tough but essential topic: addiction. When we think about addiction, we often picture substances like drugs or alcohol. But addiction isn't just about these things. It can take many forms: our compulsive attachment to social media, the constant need for external validation, an unhealthy dependence on work, or even an obsession with being perfectly healthy. The truth is, addiction in any form is a form of slavery. It's a loss of control over our own minds, our decisions, and our lives. But here's the good news: you have the power to break free. The Stoics believed that addiction wasn't a moral failing. It was a result of unhealthy habits and distorted judgments. They knew we could reclaim our freedom by understanding the nature of addiction and applying Stoic principles. This is not an easy path, but it is a powerful one. The philosopher Epictetus put it so simply, yet profoundly: no man is free who is not master of himself. Addiction, at its core, is a loss of self-mastery. It's about surrendering control to external forces, things, people, or behaviors that dictate how we feel and act. But despite the challenges, the Stoics taught that even when addiction seems all-consuming, we still have a choice. We can choose to feed our addiction, or we can choose to starve it. The first step toward breaking free is awareness. We need to recognize the patterns, what triggers our addiction, how we feel before and after indulging, and the consequences of those actions. Let's say you're struggling with social media addiction. You might realize that you reach for your phone when you're bored, anxious, or feeling isolated. And when you're done scrolling, you feel worse, drained, disconnected, anxious. Once you can see these patterns clearly, you're already on the path to breaking them. From there, you start challenging these patterns. You might set boundaries on your screen time or seek healthier ways to cope with stress. The Stoics believed that reason and discipline were key to overcoming anything that held us captive. They encouraged us to reflect on our desires, impulses, and behaviors and ask ourselves if they align with our true values. As Seneca wisely said, every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. Breaking free from addiction requires letting go of the old habits, old beliefs, and making room for the new. But here's something crucial. Breaking free isn't just about willpower. It's also about finding a deeper meaning in life. When you discover your why, the reason you want to overcome addiction, it becomes easier to stay committed and motivated. Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In other words, our challenges aren't just obstacles, they're opportunities to grow. If you're struggling with addiction, know that you're not alone. Embrace the Stoic principles of self-awareness, reason, and discipline. Find meaning and purpose in your life. And remember, as Seneca said, difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. Navigating control. Now, let's talk about control, or rather, the art of understanding what we can and cannot control. This is a core principle in Stoicism, and it's essential for mastering our minds and finding peace in a chaotic world. The Stoics believed that much of our suffering arises from trying to control things that are ultimately beyond our grasp. Things like the opinions of others, the weather, the past, or the future. True freedom, they taught, comes when we focus on what we can control, our thoughts, our judgments, and our actions. Think of it like this. Imagine you're a gardener tending to a beautiful garden. You can control the soil, the water, the sunlight, and the care you give each plant. But you can't control the weather, the pests, or the curious squirrel that digs up your flowers. Similarly, in life, there are some things within our control and others that are simply beyond us. Trying to control the uncontrollable is like fighting against the ocean's waves. It's futile, frustrating, and exhausting. Epictetus summed this up beautifully when he said, "Some things are within our control, and some things are not within our control. Our actions, our opinions, our desires, they're ours to shape. But the world around us, that's not our domain." So, how do we navigate control in our daily lives? It starts with self-awareness. Pay attention to your anxiety triggers. Are you stressing over things you can't influence, like the outcome of a job interview or someone else's opinion of you? Ask yourself, what can I control here? You can control your preparation, your mindset, your attitude, but you can't control the questions the interviewer asks, the candidates they consider, or the final decision. By focusing on what's in your power, your own actions and responses, you can channel your energy into what truly matters. This doesn't mean being passive, it means choosing your battles wisely and focusing on what you can change. As Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. You're the captain of your own ship. You can't control the storm, but you can control how you steer the boat, adjust the sails, and respond to the waves. So, my friends, embrace the Stoic art of navigating control. Focus on what you can influence and let go of what you cannot. Steer your ship toward a life of purpose and tranquility. As Seneca put it, "He who fears death will never do anything worthy of a living man." The inner sanctuary. To wrap up, let's talk about something deeply personal and empowering. The inner sanctuary. Imagine there's a place within you, a peaceful refuge amid the storms of life, a place where you can find clarity, wisdom, and inner strength. That's your inner sanctuary, and the Stoics believed that cultivating this sanctuary was essential for living a life of fulfillment and peace. This sanctuary isn't a physical location, it's a state of mind, a space built on wisdom, virtue, and self-awareness. It's where you retreat from the chaos of the world and reconnect with your true self. As Marcus Aurelius wisely wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." True peace, he realized, isn't found in external circumstances, but within ourselves. So, how do we build this sanctuary? It begins with wise judgment. Wisdom helps us decide what's truly important, what's within our control, and what aligns with our values. Think of your inner sanctuary like a beautiful garden. Wise judgment is the gardener, tending to your thoughts, removing the weeds of negativity and nurturing the flowers of virtue and clarity. Another crucial element is self-awareness. The more we understand ourselves, our values, motivations, and weaknesses, the more we can create a sanctuary that reflects our authentic selves. As Epictetus advised, know first who you are and then adorn yourself accordingly. Understanding who you truly are is the first step in creating a sanctuary that will serve as your source of peace and strength. Finally, tranquility is key. This doesn't mean indifference to the world. It means cultivating a peace within yourself that allows you to navigate life's challenges with grace and balance. Seneca captured this beautifully when he said, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. Tranquility is about accepting the present moment as it is, without clinging to the past or fearing the future." So, my friends, cultivate your inner sanctuary. Build it on wisdom, self-awareness, and tranquility. Make it your refuge, your source of strength, and your safe space in a noisy world. Remember, as Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." There you have it. We've explored the Stoic art of mastering the mind, breaking free from addiction, navigating control, and finding inner peace. But remember, this is just the beginning. The true power lies within you. You have the ability to shape your thoughts, actions, and ultimately, your life. So, don't let the noise of the outside world drown out your inner voice. Live fully, with purpose, and with confidence. The life you've always dreamed of is waiting for you. You are capable of achieving everything you set your mind to. Believe in yourself and take the first step toward becoming the master of your life. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights on Stoicism, self-improvement, and personal growth. See you next time.